Good morning everyone, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do your What's Cracking for Friday the 28th. You know, somebody posted something about, it was the end of a cycle, somebody posted something about, you know, the gap between the end of Christmas and New Year, because it's always been a little confusing. But I remember as a child always thinking that gap went forever, because my birthday was in January. So it was like that felt like a forever gap between Christmas and New Year for me. But as an adult, I find I get completely and utterly disoriented. Definitely an end of a cycle coming up for people here. So I've said the world jump with the chariot. And I forget completely. I find it very disorienting. So... And somebody put some joke up on about the, you know, not having any idea who you are between Christmas and New Year. And I thought it's so very true. You go into this sort of mind lapse, whether you're working or not, it doesn't make a difference. Anyway, I digress. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I've been really enjoying the comments and the readings I've been doing for everybody. So... I do want to ask you to join my Facebook page. I do offer the free comps there. I'll probably do one going into next week, but it's just easier than trying to do them on YouTube. So, okay, we're ready to get going. Okay, oh, my cards are all over the place. Sorry, I have the Devil coming out here. The Devil is a card. I actually really like the Devil card, but then, as most of you know, I don't see any negative in any of the cards. The Devil energy can be about ego, about understanding how your ego plays a part in your day-to-day life. I don't always think people understand the difference between their ego and who they truly are, but the ego is the part of you that's been conditioned by society, your family, your school, all those sort of things. And it's the person that you put up for the world rather than showing your true self. Now, sometimes this is okay, because I think that we all like to put up a little bit of ego just to be self-preserving, and in situations where it is more comforting to perhaps not show your true colours. But there is a caution in that you can't live behind your ego all the time. It means that, you know, you might end up putting people offside because they don't trust you. It's incongruent because it does not sit with your true self. So that's the ego. Now, underneath and underlying that ego, the Devil represents obsession. So extremes, addictions, can be about lust, can be about codependency, but it's all the addictions we have in our life that we live by that have become quite natural to us. And the Devil asks that we discard them, or we identify them and learn to work with that dark side or our shadow side more in line with who we truly are. Okay, big deep talk first thing in the morning. I'm going to have a deep one today, I can see it now. Okay, so the first card we have out is the Three of Cups. Now, the Three of Cups traditionally talks of having good times, having fun with family and friends, and celebrations. So we'll see how we go here. A lot of this at Christmas, right? Okay, and then we have the Six of Rods. So we're talking about public recognition, being recognised for something, some sort of award. At its very least, it can be you feeling a bit chuffed that something has, you've been recognised for something. I have to be careful I don't go off in too deep in these readings too, because I only got 15 minutes most. Okay, Knight of Swords coming on here. So the Knight of Swords talks of receiving some sort of communication. Now, the swords represent truth, so we're talking something that is truthful. And the Knight, of course, is an air sign, or represents the air signs of Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, and he's coming in to tell you a truth here. Okay, then we have the Queen of Cups. So maybe coming from a water sign, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, The Queen of Cups is beautiful. I love the Queen of Cups. She can represent a motherly figure, but more so she represents the people who are very intuitive, psychics, those sort of things. But the one thing that is really beautiful, she is really in touch with her emotions. So she's very emotionally available. Okay, and then we have the Seven of Cups. So this talks about illusion, delusion, confusion, whatever you'd like to call it, and a lot of choices. When we look at the cups, you don't always know what you're going to get, so it becomes a bit confusing on which cup to go for. So I guess in life you don't always know what you're going to get. Even if you're getting something that looks good, it may not turn out to be good. Okay, we have the Six of Pentacles coming out, which talks about equal give and take. It talks about being able to give freely in a relationship, whether that would be monetary or more emotionally, but being able to and comfortable to exchange that on a level that's good for you and the person exchanging with you. So equalness. Okay, and then we have the card of Death, which is transformation. So this talks about letting a part of you die here, letting something that doesn't serve you in life go. With the ego card up front, maybe some of you are doing some work on discarding the ego or the part that doesn't serve you. Okay, Four of Cups. So we have here an offer coming in, but you're not really interested in this offer, can I say? You're looking very bored, apathetic, and not really interested in what's being offered here. I don't know whether you feel like you've already got enough of what's being offered or whether it's not the sort of offer you want to take up. Okay, and then we have the Queen of Swords. So again, we're talking air signs. We're talking somebody who wants to speak a truth. Sometimes this can be about apologies as well, because the sword talks about sort of cutting through the, I'm going to say the crap, but cutting through, the useless information that sort of sits around it. But it's also about cutting people out of your life. And I'm sure there are people who are doing that after the Christmas holidays and Christmas break. Okay, so as I see it, for some of you, we have the Devil up front here. So we're talking about this ego energy today. Now, it could be that you're dealing with someone who has ego. You are possibly in a codependent relationship, or you're dealing with someone who's codependent. How do you know they're codependent without going and looking it up? They're very needy. A codependent person is very needy. They exist for the other person, not for themselves. That's it in a nutshell. But basically that's what it's all about. Not recognising, this equal give and take is part of that. It's not recognising your own value or putting the other person's value above yours. So I feel like here there's some truth telling, there's some cutting out of something. Perhaps some of you are cutting out people after the Christmas break. I feel like what they offer you now doesn't mean anything more to you. It's like you've decided that, you've got lots of choices. You can do better without this person. You don't necessarily have to have this person around. But what I really like here is it's like you've recognized something within yourself here, and you're, understanding that you need to let that go. I think that you're trying to find some way of cutting this out of yourself. Now, I feel like this has a lot to do with family here. So maybe you're becoming more awake or more aware and understanding the true value of yourself in situations. I feel like perhaps some of you are cutting out family members, cutting out people who don't serve you any longer. Could be romantic relationships, but definitely looking at your life before the new year comes in perhaps, and making decisions to, move forward, like the Six of Wands, with some sort of recognition for how you've, worked with people in your life who no longer have that value that they used to have. I think that when we're asleep or before we awaken, we tend to accept everything around us, and sometimes that's not a good thing. We accept the bad along with the good, and we probably, especially when it's family or people that are close to us, we're very reluctant to cause waves. And I think once you awaken, or once you become aware of bad habits or people who are treating you poorly, you start to really feel very comfortable and very confident, like this Queen of Swords, in cutting people out that no longer serve you. So this looks like a lot of what's going on at the moment. People sorting through their lives, deciding what they want to take forward into the new year with them, but doing it with love for self, you know, really understanding that this is about loving who you are and respecting and appreciating who you are, and making sure that you're not taking those people forward with you that really don't value you or value the life you lead. Definitely what's coming up here. And look at this, how beautiful is that? So this frees you up to have stability going forward. It's sort of like you're, you know, weeding your garden is what they're saying to me. You're weeding your garden. You're taking out of your garden the things that stop everything else growing. So once you remove these things from your life, all of a sudden everything starts to grow. And I can honestly tell you that. It's like it frees you up. It allows you to be who you are. You no longer need to sort of live in this energy. Once you find your truth, manifestation becomes so much more easy for you. It becomes easier to access because you're not holding back with the what if I'm good enough thing. You know, can I do this? You know, do I have the capacity? Because once you find that place, you know you are. You know you have the capacity. You know who you are and what you're capable of. So this seems to me what people are doing at the moment. And being it's a general energy, it won't appeal to everybody. It won't resonate with everybody. Go and put your thumbs down for those who it doesn't resonate with. I just deliver the messages. Okay, so the card of communicate clearly has come out here, which is absolutely perfect when I see these swords cards here. It's perfect with this reading. This is about standing up for yourself and being able to articulate exactly what you want to say to people before you move forward. Beautiful reading, folks. Have a wonderful day.